Shalom to the elect of Israel, started with the 144,000 elect men, 12,000 from each tribe, which consists of the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native American Indians, and you Israelite foreigners, Hebrew Israelites who are scattered among all other nations, looking like the other nations and speaking their tongues. Shalom to all of you. All right, before we get started with this lesson, let's give the much due all phrases, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, HAQADASH, Halalyam, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, HAQADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone. And much due respect to you, sincere Akim, that's laboring in the works. And shalom to you believers, to the Akim wa which will be you brothers, and few among the sincere sisters who do subscribe to this truth, listening and learning in silence as the scriptures say so. I'm your brother Manazar, representing warriors for YAHAWASHI, Pasadena, Texas branch. Lord willing, this lesson be edifying, playing upon the tables, put some fear into you Israelites to repent, and you Israelite women to repent if you haven't yet. All right. I'm gonna play this video right quick. Fair use, fair use, fair use. I'm using this for education purpose. Fair use, fair use. I'm using this video from the brother Arrows of Indonesia 144. Grape dungeon on wheels. You single independent women who don't need a man, listen up.
Investigators call this man a monster and describe the blood-curdling screams and the body cam footage that made even the most seasoned shake at the LA County Sheriff's Department. This is a first look at the suspected serial rapist, 39-year-old Eduardo Sarabia. Investigators say he's a transient and illegal immigrant from Mexico, now locked up with no bail. LASD investigators strongly believe the two rapes he's charged with are not the only ones. Sarabia is formally charged with 2 felony counts of sexual assault for forcible rape of a woman just a few days ago on Sunday, May 12th, and a 26-year-old woman on Monday the 13th. 2 heroic deputies caught him in the act inside a white van in the San Gabriel Mountains and arrested him yesterday. There are a lot of very disturbing and heartbreaking details surrounding these 2 incidents that sound straight out of a horror movie, but we can't release them yet without jeopardizing LASD's case. This is a look at that, quote, rape dungeon on wheels, a van they say disgustingly outfitted for rape. It's a 2015 Ford Transit van, essentially a mobile cage with no windows in the back. Now a crime scene on wheels filled with evidence and under 24-hour surveillance in the LASD San Dimas parking lot. And this is where Sarabia would take his victims at night, a dark, scary, remote location in the Angeles National Forest with no chance of a cell signal. It's up Highway 39 in Azusa Canyon at mile marker 21 in a pitch black dirt turnout. It's frankly a miracle that the deputies even found the van described from the first rape victim in the remote area of the mountains where LASD is drastically understaffed and people who do live in the area are begging for more law enforcement officers to help patrol it and keep them safe. The Special Victims Bureau strongly believes there are more rape victims and needs the public's help for those victims to come forward and help ensure this man stays locked up and doesn't harm anybody else. So this investigation is undoubtedly in the preliminary stage with many more developments and details to release as investigators sift through all the evidence at the crime scene and inside that van and speak to the survivors.
Jen Melvin, good morning. Authorities describing the van they believe the suspect used to carry out these assaults as a rape dungeon on wheels. Take a look. We have a map showing you exactly where this happened, where that suspect was taken into custody. LA County Sheriff's deputies arresting the suspected serial rapist in a remote area of Azusa Canyon in the San Gabriel Mountains late Monday night. In a dramatic rescue, deputies moved in on the suspect, who they say had taken a 26-year-old woman to a dark turnout burnout off Highway 39 near mile marker 21. Investigators say the woman was taken up the highway by the suspect in a van to sexually assault her when deputies intervened, rescuing the victim before the assault. That van, again described as a rape dungeon on wheels, has now been impounded as evidence in the case, and nearby residents we spoke to hope he stays off the streets.
I think it's terrible that we can't even be safe on the streets, you know. It's hard to believe the way things are today than the way they used to be. You can't, even on public transportation, people, those two people being stabbed. So, yeah, it's scary.
That suspect is behind bars this morning, but authorities are concerned there could be additional victims who've yet to come forward. The case now being handled by the LA County Sheriff's Special Victims Unit.
Hey, this about to be the new norm for a lot of you rebellious women, especially here in America, especially you Israelite women who is rebellious, who don't want to receive instruction. You don't want to be rebuked. Can't nobody tell you nothing because you know it all. You got it all figured out. Only God can judge me. Well, we're going to tell you according to the scriptures of the God in the Bible, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is going to do to you type of woman. All right? You know, you rebellious Israelites in general. But today's topic is related to women being raped. That's about to be the new norm for a lot of rebellious American women here. You about to get raped, and it's not going to be pleasant. Take a good look at the 12 tribes of Israel chart here. Take a good look. You better repent. You better repent from your ways. All right? You better repent. All right? Let's start with the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verses 36 and 37 in the KJV, red lettering. Lord YAHAWASHI is speaking here, who the world still and ignorantly calling JC. All right? YAHAWASHI. But I say unto you that every idle word that men, even women, shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. All right, you know how people be saying, there's a saying in the world, be careful what you say, because it can be used against you. The tongue holds life and death. Words are powerful, right? So for an example, the title, right towards the ending, when it says, when it says grape dungeon on wheels, you single independent women who don't need a man. Listen up. You got a lot of women out there to this day still proudly, ignorantly saying, I don't need a man. Like they say, what goes around comes around. Your actions and your words. But I say unto you that every idle word that men, even women, that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Be sentenced to a particular punishment, especially death. Just to get that into other versions very quick. The Living Bible and Message. Matthew chapter 12, 36 through 37. Now this is the Living Bible, TLB. And I tell you this, that you must give account on Judgment Day for every idle word you speak. So for an example, you women that's still out there saying, I don't need a man, it's going to be used against you on Judgment Day. Your words, your words now reflect your fate then. Either you will be justified by them, or you will be condemned. All right? Let's get this in the message. Now it starts, let's see, notice Halalyam, not the message, G&T, Good News Translation, my bad. Good News Translation. Okay. You can be sure that on the judgment day, you will have to give account of every useless word you have ever spoken. So for an example, you women that's out there and that's in this mindset still, and I'm talking about you Israelite women that still believes you don't need an Israelite man, and not just any Israelite man, a Israelite man that's in a house of mourning, trying his best day in and day out to serve Yahawah BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI in spirit and truth and sincerity, with fear and with reverence, deep respect and admiration for, trying to make his calling election sure, and you offended these men, you give them a hard time, you talk shit to them, you talk shit about them, whether it's in front of their face or behind their backs, in your secret place, right? Your lob, your mind. Oh man, the Lord is recording all of that. You can be sure that on the judgment day, you will have to give account of every useless word you have ever spoken. Your words will be used to judge you, to declare you either innocent or guilty. So for an example, right, when it says your words will be used to judge you, to declare you either innocent or guilty. Let's say the Lord declares you guilty because you was proudly going around proclaiming you don't need a Israelite man. Oh shit, you're going to be experiencing this when all hell break loose. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. A lot of you women that still believes y'all don't need men are going to experience 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 33. You're going to be mourning because you don't have a man to protect you, guide you, feed you, shelter you. And not just any man, a man of the Lord, one of the elect men. All right. Verse 34, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine, of hunger, starvation. Being destroyed in the wars, being drafted for World War III overseas, and he ain't never coming back, mamita. He ain't never coming back. He ain't never coming back. And if he doesn't get drafted, it's going to be war out here too. Think of Civil War for an example. All right. So let's get Isaiah. So like, hey, be careful what you say, man. Better repent. Think twice before you speak, right? Let's see, Isaiah chapter 66, verse 4 in the KJV, speaking to you Israelites that don't want to repent, right? Especially Israelites that know that he or she is an Israelite, but you are not in a house of mourning. You in a house of feasting. You crept in unawares as a spy. You don't have sincere attentions. You came here with the wrong mindset. You came in here as like a fox. You came in here as Keisha with a hair wrap, Alonda with a hair wrap, Shaquisha with a hair wrap, Carmen with a hair wrap, Leslie with a hair wrap. All right? You ain't never changed. You came in here as Ravy and Pookie with fringes on, with dreadlocks still. You came in here as Agar and Carros with long hair still, being rebellious still. You never changed, right? Isaiah chapter 66 verse 4, I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them. The Lord's going to choose your greatest fears against you in the day of judgment. Fears that you probably don't even know about. Because when I called, and right now he's still calling because he still have his prophets available. None did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. And the Lord speaks to his prophets. But they, right, the rebellious Israelites, but they did evil before my eyes and chose that in which I delighteth not. Let's get that in, let's see, the TLB if I'm not mistaken. Isaiah chapter 66 verse 4 in the Living Bible. I will send great troubles upon thee. Think of Jacob's trouble for an example. And within Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7, the Lord's going to send great troubles upon rebellious Israelites, especially starting with those that know that he and she is a Israelite. You know better. I will send great troubles upon them. All the things they feared. For when I called them, they refused to answer. You refused to repent. And when I spoke to them through the prophets, they would not hear. Right? You didn't want to listen. You didn't want to take heed to the rebuke. You didn't want to take heed to the instructions. You didn't want to take heed to the dire warning. You scoffed, you mocked, right? Instead, they did wrong before my eyes and chose that, that's a slakia. Now check this out. And chose what they knew I despised. So for an example, you got Israelites in this truth that has been rebuked many times by our elders, the apostles, the bishops, elder brothers on down, on how, you know, particular men, so-called leaders, are going off saying that you can pop your woman in the rectum, right? You can sodomize your woman pretty much, right? They didn't want to receive the instruction, the rebuke. They kept on doing wickedness, all right? They've been rebuked on how, you know, the MOTB is, you know, the RF to the ID, right? The charagma. They don't want to take heed. They're constantly being rebuked on the difference between a new moon and a full moon. They don't want to take heed. And the list goes on, right? Instead, they did wrong before my eyes and chose what they knew I despised. So you Israelites know better, and you continue to do the wrong. You continue to do what the Lord hates. All right, so the Lord's going to bring your fears upon you, men and women, children, young, old. Okay, the Lord's not messing around, man, especially you women. Now it shows verses 3 through 4 in the message, but verse 4, it starts down. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, it starts down here. Okay. All right, it starts down here. This is verse 4. All right. This is the message. Well, I choose to expose your nonsense and let you realize your worst fears. Because when I invited you, and how is the Lord inviting Israelites? Is by coming across by coming across of hearing the words of YAHAWAHSHI through his men, whether it's in person, like in real life, like in person at a camp, or across a brother's platform, YouTube channel, for an example, right? The Lord is inviting you by this word, this wisdom and knowledge, this ministry, through his men, his prophets. Because when I invited you, you ignored me. When I spoke to you, you brushed me off. You did the very things I exposed as evil. You chose what I hate. Hey, the Lord ain't messing around. All right. Let's say judgment must be given from the house. Let me get that real quick. I think I know. Hold on. Low willing. Like I see it right there in my lab. The one around is 1 Peter. Oh yeah, the water. YAHAWAHSHI. The water. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God, YAHAWAHSHI. The Israelites that's in His truth, that knows better, right? Remember, we're gonna the Lord's gonna judge Israelites for what we said and done, how we conducted ourselves, whether it's good or bad, and Lord willing, we be counted innocent. Okay. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel, the good news of YAHAWAHSHI? All right. So repent, Israel. You sisters, or so-called sisters, that's not sincere. You better change your ways real soon. All right, change your ways real soon, because a lot of women of our nation about to get raped. They about to get raped. All right, and it's not gonna be pleasant. Lamentations chapter 5 verse 11, New Living Translation. Our enemies, the enemies of the elect. That also applies 2/3. 2/3, Ray-Rays, Pookies, Agars, Carros. You know, these thugs and drug dealers who you women are so, googly eyes for, right? The worst heathens that's here, the Edomites, right? Our enemies rape the women in Jerusalem. Think of Northern Kingdom women, you so-called Hispanics, Latino women, Native American Indian woman, Seminole Indian woman, right? The women from the tribes. Look at Ephraim all the way down to Naphtali. You can look at that as Jerusalem, right? And the young girls in all the towns of Judah, Southern Kingdom women, your so-called black women, your so-called West Indian black women, so-called Haitian women. All right, our enemies are going to be raping a lot of Israelite women because you're rebellious. Your actions, your words was used against you in Judgment Day. Okay. Let's get Isaiah 32 and 9. The book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 9 through 11 in the KJV. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Right? So rise up, ye women that are at ease. Right? America, right? Because, Babylon the Great whore, aka America, also known as the Virgin, right? America, this whore, is about to get ravished. She's about to get raped by a lot of missiles, by a lot of ICBMs. It's going to destroy this place. She about to get destroyed the first time she get piped down, invaded, violated, right? And then, the Americans here, men, women, children, young, old, that's behaving like a woman, right? Rebellious, careless, right? Emotional, right? Rise up. And then the actual woman, literal woman, especially our woman that's at ease, right? Non, right? America, you Americans, you Israelite women here, that's secure in a bad sense. In a bad sense. You're complacent. You're free from worries. You're disrespectful. You're out of order. You don't want to respect order. All right? You're haughty. Right? You're haughty, a smug. You're prideful, conceited, quote unquote, self-made. Right? Let's see. You're secure in a bad sense because what? Security from our oppressor, from these cops, aka slave patrol officers. You can call 911, even though you was at the wrong, but the system will still take your side. All right, the arrogance, right? Wanton, spiritually and physically, right? Let's see. Let's go down to number 2. Sexually unrestrained or having many casual sexual relationships, typically used of a woman. So you're playing a lot of a harlot, right? A whore, a thought, right? You just lead around with anything and everyone that walks, right? Down to the noun, it says a sexually unrestrained woman. So you woman is like woman that's taking heed to any doctrines other than the one and only doctrine, the doctrine of YAHAWAHSHI. You out there committing adultery. You just letting anything enter inside of you, sleeping around with anything, whoever. Stop doing that shit. In your ways. All right. Hear my voice, which are the prophets, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Take heed to these lessons. Because these lessons are, yes, exhorting, right, to edify you. The thing is, though, edification is not always going to be sweet like honey. Edification, exhortation can also be bitter, all right? But hey, that's what happens when you eat the roll. You got to be able to eat and digest both the sweet and the bitter. The rebuke is not always going to be sweet. It's going to be bitter sometimes, but hey, not everything that's sweet is good for you, like sugar, right? If it's white, it ain't right? White sugar ain't good for you. It's sweet as fuck. It tastes good, but it's not good for you. Horseradish, for example, is a very bitter herb, but it's good for you, though. All right? Give ear unto my speech. Verse 10, many days and years for a period of time, right? Sometime this year, right? In the G&T, it says that. It says sometime this year, if I'm not mistaken. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman. For the venture shall fail. The economy is going to collapse. No more being able to chase the bag, get your nails done, your hair done, grab a meal from all the simps you got lined up in your phone, right? Being able to so-called beautify yourself, live the type of lifestyle that the average woman that's at ease here lives like. The goodies, Section 8, child support, EBT, food stamps, so-called assistance from the oppressor, that's going to collapse. The gathering shall not come. 911 security done away with, a thing of the past. Now you're on your own, being dragged, kidnapped, raped, trotted down as a mile of streets, right? The gathering ain't gonna come. Ain't nobody gonna try to come to your aid, man. No one is going to care about the average black woman here in America, the average Hispanic Latino woman here, the average Native American Indian woman here, a rebellious Israelite woman here. Ain't nobody gonna care about you, American woman, when all hell breaking loose, man. All right? 911's gonna be a thing of the past. Shit, I wouldn't be surprised. Simps are no longer going to be simps. They're gonna tap into their masculinity, to their manhood, and now they don't want nothing to do with you. If they do want something to do with you, it's because they looking to ravish you, to harm you, to get revenge upon you. The gathering shall not come. Verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. So get ready, you rebellious woman, you woman that still ignorantly, foolishly, proudly proclaiming, I don't need a man. Get ready to be in a state of mourning. And like you women like to say, I can do bad by myself. Get ready to live up to that quote. The Lord's going to strip everything from you. He's not going to give you any of your desires that you crave. You're going to be suffering alone. For you sincere sisters that's in this truth, that's single, and you desire to have a husband, the Lord's going to hook you up in the right time. This how there's brothers in this truth that desire to have a family too, but he's single still. Both him and his future wives are being molded, prepared for the right time. Okay? But for the rest of you hard-headed, rebellious women, you are up for a rude awakening. Lord willing, the lesson was edifying, playing upon the tables. Yay. Hopefully you was edified and received this dire warning. This about to be the new norm out here in America. Let's give all phrases down there. Glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, HAQADASH, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, HAQADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone, and much due respect to you, sincere Akim, that's laboring in the works. Shalom to you believers, to the Akim YAHAWAH, which will be you brothers and few of my sincere sisters who do subscribe to this truth. All right.